Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namini Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudhiraye Shunvatam Swakata Krishnaha Punyashravana Kirtanaha Hridyamtasto Hyabhadrani Vidunoti Suhritsatam नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी ग्रंथरा श्रीमद्भागवतम की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Today we are going to read from Canto 10, chapter 53, text 24. Api mayyanavadyatma दृष्ट्वा किंचित जुगुप्सितं मत्पानिग्रहणेनूनं नायाति हि कृतोद्यमः। अपि मय्यनवद्यात्मा दृष्ट्वा किंचित जुगुप्सितं मत्पानिग्रहणेनूनं नायाति हि कृतोद्यमः। अपि मय्यनवद्यात्मा दृष्ट्वा किंचित जुगुप्सितं मत्पानिग्रहणेनूनं नायाति हि कृतोद्यमः। अपि मय्यनवद्यात्मा दृष्ट्वा किंचित् जुगुप्सितम् Apimayanavadyatma Apanigrahane Nayate. Matajis Apimayanavadyatma Drisva kinchechugupsitam Matpanigrahane nunam Nayatihi krutodhyamaham. Api, perhaps, mai, in me, anavadya, faultless, atma, he whose body and mind, drishtva, seeing, kinchit, something, jugupsitam, contemptible, mat, my, pani, hand, grahane, for the taking, nunam, indeed, na ayati, has not come, he, certainly, krita udyamaha, even though ordinarily intending to do so. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation: perhaps the faultless Lord, even while preparing to come here, saw something contemptible in me and therefore has not come to take my hand. Purport: Princess Rukmini boldly invited Sri Krishna to kidnap her. When Rukmini did not see him come, she naturally feared that he had rejected her proposal, perhaps finding some unacceptable quality in her. As expressed here, the Lord himself is anavadya, faultless, and if he saw some fault in Rukmini, she would be an unworthy bride for him. It was natural for the young princess to feel such anxiety. Furthermore, if Sri Krishna had actually made this decision, it would be natural for the Brahmana to fear Rukmini's reaction were he to bring her the news, and that would explain why he had not come. Ajanulambhitabhujau kanakavadhatau Sankirtanaikapitarau kamalayatakshau Vishwambarau Dvijavarau Yugadharmapalau Vande Jagatpriyakarau Karunavatarau. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Prangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jayatam Suratau Pango Mama Mandamatirgati Matsarvasvapadam Bhojo Radha Madana Mohanau Neelachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmani Balabhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannathaya Te Namaha. Very quick.
Hare Krishna. So we are very, very fortunate to have His Grace Madhava Gopinath Prabhu with us. So a brief introduction of Prabhuji. So His Grace Madhava Gopinath Prabhu is currently serving as a convener of ISKCON Rampalli. So ISKCON Rampalli is an extension center under ISKCON Hyderabad. Prabhu is also working as a global delivery director in a IT company, a prestigious IT company called Infosys, managing around 1,000 plus employees. He holds a PhD degree in Sanskrit on commentaries on Bhagavad Puran from Karnataka Sanskrit University. He pursued his engineering from BITS Pilani and holds a master degree in Puranas and Itihasas, astrology and philosophy. He developed a community of devotees in Hyderabad where he's guiding around 100 plus families, and they have Jagannath. There is a temple in the one township where they conduct programs every day, and they have a morning program every day, and so many programs just like a temple. Uh, he has written a book by the name Gita in Nutshell, which has received worldwide appreciation, and we can actually understand Gita more in a better way through that book. He gives lectures in English and Telugu language, and he's very famous for giving deep insights into explanations from different acharyas. He has formed a forum called Shastra Nidhi for doing research on Shastras, and currently he's working on the project called Purna Tilakam, which is the world's largest repository of Bhagavad Puran and associated works. So we are very happy to have Prabhuji here at ISKCON Abbots, and we welcome Prabhuji by once chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Hare Hare. I'm also very happy to be here in the wonderful association of all of you. Before I start, I want to tell you a couple of things. I had been coming to this temple from last 30 years, starting in 94 June. Other than the deities, like Srila Prabhupada and the deities, there were only two people who are there that time also, now also. One is His Grace Anandamai Prabhu, other one is His Grace Vishwakirti Prabhu. Many people had come, they left, but these were the two devotees. Every time we used to come, we used to associate. You are all very wonderful souls to get association of His Grace Anandamai Prabhu and His Grace Vishwakirti Prabhu. Very happy to be here, Prabhu. Every time I used to come, same room, same place, I go to Prabhu, we discuss for a long time, and then take Prabhuji's association. Also later, much later, His Grace Vedanta Chaitanya Prabhu had come here. There was a totally different before, and after he came, he started many preaching programs, made so many devotees. And in last few years, it became even more wonderful with the arrival of His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu, and Sitaram Prabhu. And we are always very happy. We are on the other side of the city, but our mind and heart is always here. What is going on here? I keep following up with Vishnu Prasad Prabhu, who's coming here. Please give us opportunity also to have their association there in our congregation. So we always have a watch on what's going on here. Thank you very much. And this particular verse is from the chapter titled Krishna Kidnaps Rukmini. Rukmini is feeling apimai anavadhyatma drishtva kinchit jugupsitam mat panigrahane noonam nayatihi krutodhyamaham. She says Krishna is faultless, anavadhyatma. He is infallible, achyuta. That Supreme Lord Krishna is ready to accept anybody and everybody. And once he accepts anyone and everyone, they also become pure, being accepted by Lord Krishna. She is feeling that Krutodhyamaha, he was ready to accept me also. Kruta Udyamaha, he was intended to accept me also. She is considering herself to be a fallen soul, representing, so being a representative of the, all the people. She is mother for everybody. So on behalf of us, Krishna is ready to accept. But maybe, drishtva kinchit jugupsitam, some fault in me, he is not coming. He wanted to come, he is supposed to come. Krishna is ready to accept me. Krishna is faultless, but maybe, seeing something very bad in me, the Lord is not coming. Out of her anxiousness, she is feeling like that. And she is telling, mat panigrahane noonam nayati, he is not coming to hold my hand. Panigrahana means, literally means holding the hand. means marriage. There are many different words for marriage in Sanskrit. That is like vivaha, udvaha, pani grahanam, pani peedanam, parinayam, and many other words like that. Marriage is not vivaha many times because there is no other word in English we use. And nowadays there are many other things. There is something called co-living, like no, that's not even marriage, and marriage is not vivaha. Vivaha is like two people coming together, male and female. That also we have to explicitly say nowadays, because there are many different kinds of marriages, like and leading a dharmic life for producing and raising Krishna conscious children. Panigrahanam, that is called. And there are 8 different types of marriages that are told in Shastra. Brahma vivaha, Daiva vivaha, Arsha vivaha, Prajapatya vivaha, Gandharva vivaha, Rakshasa vivaha, Asura vivaha, and Paisacha vivaha. Brahma vivaha is giving like a daughter, like doing kanyadan to a Vedic scholar, like who learnt 4 Vedas and especially at least 1 Veda. And the girl, before attaining puberty, if that kanyadan is performed, that is called Brahma vivaha. It's very rare nowadays to see because constitutionally it is prohibited, but still we see here and there. I at least know in my family many people had that type of a marriage. So like there's some clue about it, what it is. And there's a Daiva vivaha. There's also almost same, but here this time is a priest giving to a, like that was giving to a Vipra and this giving to a Purohit kind of a person. Arsha vivaha is also like giving daughter to a saintly person. And also in Arsha vivaha sometimes we see that the boy is giving some wonderful gifts to the girl's parents out of gratitude, like that is called Arsha vivaha. And we also have like in Mahabharata we see like this type of a vivaha also is mentioned. For example, Devahutis vivaha is Brahma vivaha, like that. And then there is a Prajapatya vivaha, like giving daughter to a qualified like person for the material enjoyment, like directed towards spiritual life. That is Prajapatya vivaha. These 4, Brahma vivaha, Daiva vivaha, Arsha vivaha, Prajapatya vivaha, they are arranged by the parents. And there are 4 other types called Gandharva vivaha. It's what we call nowadays love marriage, but at least in Gandharva vivaha there are some rules and regulations. It's not like love at first sight and divorce at first fight. Like we see Shakuntala and Dushyant, they had this Gandharva vivaha. And now there is Rakshasa vivaha. So Lord Krishna's marriage with Rukmini is Rakshasa vivaha. It's like the hero, like with valor, he kidnaps the girl and gets married to her if she is willing. Here Rukmini is willing. Rukmini is loving Krishna. She is anticipating for Krishna's arrival. If the girl is not ready, it cannot be done. See, for example, Bhishma kidnapped Amba, but she is not willing to get married to Vichitravirya. So he sent her back, like So Rakshasa vivaha is not simply kidnapping and getting married. Kidnapping, like if the parents are like her protectors are not willing for their marriage, but the girl is willing. So here Rukmini is willing, so it's a Rakshasa vivaha. So Lord, how the Lord did this, performed this Rakshasa vivaha, how he married with Rukmini. This is the question asked by Maharaj Parikshit in the previous chapter. That is why this whole like story is being narrated by Shukadev Goswami. So this is Rakshasa vivaha. There are also 2 other types. Asura vivaha, it is also like giving Kanya Sulka and like almost like purchasing the girl. That is called Ashurik vivaha. And there is Paisachika vivaha. It is, how to explain? It's like seducing the girl, and nowadays people call love jihad, something like that, like paishachika vivaha. So here Lord Krishna performed, Lord Krishna married Rukmini, like in the Rakshasa Vidhi, that means kidnapping her and marrying. So she was anticipating for Lord Krishna to come, and he is not coming. So she is feeling that there is something wrong in me. Why the Lord is not accepting? Though she is faultless, Lakshmi is Anapayini. She is faultless, but she is feeling that maybe something wrong with me. Why the Lord is not coming? Why I am not receiving Lord's mercy? One has to wait patiently, like for the mercy of the Lord. That is a lesson look Rukmini is teaching. How long patiently? Like not 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, not one lifetime. Later she is telling, earlier she told, and later also she is telling that I am prepared to wait for Seta Janma Bhisyat, 100 lifetimes. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also taught the same lesson to us, that we should, like whether aslishyava padaratan pinastuma, like whether Lord accepts, rejects, appears, disappears, embraces, and keeps away, no matter, you are my Lord. Like I am prepared to wait for you for 100 lifetimes, but I am not willing to get married to Shishupala or anyone else. This is Rukmini's position. This is her determinations. A quick recap of, like Rukmini's story. Rukmini, all of you know, is the daughter of King Bhishmaka, and she had 5 brothers. Elder brother is Rukmi. They are from Vidarbha. The capital city is Kundinapura. Even now we see, like there's a place near Amravati, Kundapur or something like that. Like that's the gateway. Like historians say, between, like South India and North India. Like it's pretty much south. It's a gateway to north. Actually, if we see whole this story, it's like a North Indian boy, maybe a Gujarati boy, getting married to a South Indian girl. So if you follow the story very carefully, all these rituals are South Indian rituals. What's happening? Like when they welcome Shishupala, then welcoming the Lord, and the whole ceremony, the Gauri Puja, the sequence of events that are taught earlier. That is all like a South Indian marriage procedure. So Rukmini wanted to get married to Krishna. Rukmi wanted her to get married to Shishupala. Father is a good person, but is, like neutral. Though in the heart he also has a desire, but he was not able to, like tell boldly to Rukmi. Finally agreed, okay, chalo, let's give Rukmini to Shishupala. Rukmini is really worried. She approached this Brahmana, like and sent a message to Krishna with a sealed cover, love letter, like So the Brahmana all the way comes from Kundinapura to Dwarka, meets Lord Krishna, gives this letter. Krishna opens, and he was reading the letter, and we know that some of the famous shlokas here. Shrutva gunan bhuvana sundara shunvatam te nirvishya karna vivarai haratongatapam rupam drusham drishimatam akilartha labham tvayachyuta vishat chittam apatrapam me. O beauty of the worlds, Bhuvana Sundara, having heard of your qualities which enter the ears of those who hear and remove their bodily distress, and having also heard of your beauty which fulfills all the visual desires of those who see, I have fixed my shameless mind upon you. Tvayachyuta vishati chittam apatrapam me. I only can think of you. I only can focus upon you. I want you to please come and get married to me. I want you to please come and kidnap me. And she's also, Prabhupada is telling in one of the purports in the previous chapter, she's telling how Krishna should come. Like, see, nowadays there are girls, they want to get married to some boyfriend. They're killing their own parents. They're killing their sister, brother. Yesterday also something in the news. One girl ran away with some person, killing her sister, or robbing the parents. That is not Rakshasa Vivaha. Rukmini wanted no harm to her parents, like, brothers, family, soldiers, everybody. That's why she's telling you don't come inside. If you come, there'll be Kurukshetra. I will come out, like, to the temple. This is the time, like, you please take me from there. That's what she told. Prabhupada says she's a royal lady, like, she's grown up, she's Kshatrani. So she knows, like, the etiquette, she knows the dharma, and accordingly, she was advising Lord Krishna. So Krishna heard, he saw this letter, he heard everything, and he started smiling. Like, he's also feeling shy. He's not able to exactly tell. He also wants to get married to this girl. Very nice love letter, good proposal. He didn't even go to consult his parents what we should do. He didn't even go to the brother. Like, he was not like able to express, but he was feeling shy. Acharya say that he was really feeling shy. So he told Brahmana, okay, chalo, we both will go. And he didn't tell anybody. And he first, normally he don't have to take the Brahmana, he can go by himself. But Krishna thought, if this Brahmana going slowly, like, in his chariot, he may reach late. If he reaches, maybe Rukmini will get married to Shishupala. No, he should come with me so that we'll go fast. I will take him and then I will send him message through him. And he's also told her that just as tadaham api tachitto nidram chana labhe nishi vedaham rukmina dveshan mamodvaho nivaritaha. He said that just like Rukmini, tada aham api tachittaha, just like I am there in her heart, she is also in my heart. Like, nidram chana labhe nishi, I am not able to sleep in the night also. He is telling, I can't even sleep in the night. And he says that vedaham rukmina dveshan, I know this Rukmini is like, Rukmi's enmity. He doesn't like me. Like, he doesn't want me to get married to Rukmini. I know all this out of envy. Like, mamodvaho nivaritaha. This fellow is actually stopping my marriage. Sometimes people get very angry, and those who want to stop their marriage. Like, this is also coming from Krishna. We're saying, this fellow want to stop my marriage. He don't like me, but I also love Rukmini so much. I'm also waiting, like, for an opportunity like that. Thank you. And like, he was very happy with this Brahmana to bring this news, and he's glorifying Rukmini. See, just like how Rukmini said, the Lord is anavadya, faultless. Like, Krishna is also telling same thing about Rukmini. He's telling that she is also anavadyangim. She is anavadyam. She has dedicated herself exclusively to me, and her beauty is flawless. Her character is flawless. I'll bring her here after thrashing those worthless kings in battle, just as one brings a blazing flame out of firewood. Like, I will bring Rukmini to Dwaraka. Sukadeva Goswami is continuing, like, Krishna understood, like, when is the muhurta for marriage, like, the right time, and when she will come out, when he has to kidnap. He told Daruka, please make my chariot ready. And the chariot, we all know, like, because Krishna is the charioteer for Arjuna. So these chariot acharyas are telling, like, there are 4 horses. Bhagavatam also is saying here, Saibhya, Sugriva, Meghapushpa and Balahaka. 4 horses. Like, one is, Saibhya is green like a parrot's wings. And Sugriva is yellow gold. Meghapushpa is white like the color of a cloud. And actually bluish. and Balahaka is whitish. So Krishna took this chariot and he was overnight, from Dwaraka to Vidarbha, overnight Lord Krishna reached. But sometimes we think, is this the fastest moment of the Lord? No, there was even faster one. Krishna came from Mathura to Hyderabad once. Oh, when is that? Like, when Kalayavana, came there, Krishna started running. And the Kalayavana died in the Muchkunda cave, like what we call Vikarabad nowadays. So at that time, Krishna ran from Mathura to, Hyderabad very fast, probably in a few hours. I don't know, AP Express takes 24 hours. It's called Telangana Express now. But Lord Krishna, came very fast. Now also, overnight journey, but reached. And King Bhishmaka, the master of Kundina, having succumbed to the sway of affection for his son, was about to give his daughter to Shishupala. The king saw to all the required preparations. So he is making all arrangements for the marriage. Everything was very clean. All are nicely decorated. See, this decoration, when we do for festivals, we should read the description of decoration here of Kundinapura. We have to see the decoration that is done in Dwaraka and Hastinapura when the Lord is coming and leaving. So that's how we should do. But we try to use a lot of plastic and lot of this thing. Like now after the festival, there's a mountain of plastic. It's not like that. Just see how they have decorated with banana leaves, and flowers, sandalwood paste, and so many other things, coconuts, and many other things. So very nicely decorated. Everything he was doing nicely. He was welcoming the guests. He's doing everything nicely. All is very clean. All the arrangements were going, all the prescribed rituals are going. And before the marriage, in Telugu system, South Indian system especially, there is something called Nandi Shraddha is done. That is to worship the forefathers. That is being done. That's why I'm telling that it's a South Indian ritual, because it's a South Indian girl. Yeah. So that is being performed, and Bhishmaka worship the forefathers, then the Devatas, Brahmanas, and feeding them, all of them, and this how. See, how to feed the forefathers who are in the Pitruloka? We will not offer to their picture. That is a Christian system. For Shraddha ceremony, we offer in the fire. That's why they are called Ushmapas. Bhagavad Gita, there is a word, Ushmapa, means through smoke, through fire and smoke, they accept. We put here, they'll accept in the Pitruloka. So that's how the Nandi Shraddha is done. That is being performed. And there are many traditional mantras are chanted, for this. And Rukmini also, she took bath that day very nicely, and then wearing all the wedding garments and jewelry, and wonderfully, she's decorated, and the Vedic chants are being performed. Rig Veda, Samaveda, and Yajurveda by expert Brahmanas, and some separate Brahmanas, they are doing Atharva Veda chants, because Atharva Veda Acharyas are telling that they're to pacify the grahas, the controlling planets. Atharva Veda is chanted. So all those 4 Vedas are being chanted, and also he started giving charity. Every nice occasion, every samskara, so much of charity has to be done. Charity to the Brahmanas, gold, silver, clothing, cows, and also sesame seeds mixed with good. So he was doing. Then comes the so-called, bridegroom, Shishupala. Then Shishupala was welcomed. There are mantras to chant it. Nowadays also in South India, you see before marriage, the bridegroom comes. There is a ceremony. What is it called? They say Edurkolu in Telugu. Some Sanskrit name I forgot. Or Edur Sannaham they call. So they met each other. So they welcomed, and also gold chains and other things are given. So he came out of the city to meet Dhamagosha, the king of Chedi, Shishupala's father, and also offering him tokens of respect. And then they gave a nice place to stay there. Here the translation written, Bhishmaka then settled Damagosha in a residence especially constructed for the occasion. Like the residence is come, that's also standard. We arrange accommodation nicely. Then they came. Then Shishupala also has friends. Who are his friends? Shalva, Jarasandha, Dantavaktra, and Vidurata. They all came with so many armies. Many times people ask, why Krishna didn't fight in Kurukshetra? Krishna fought many battles all alone. How many Akshohinis were there in Kurukshetra? 18 Akshohinis. And now that's more than that. And only Krishna and Balram are fighting. One other time, Krishna alone was fighting a bigger army than this. He alone killed everybody. Yeah. So just to give credit to Arjuna and sometimes credit to Bhima, the Lord left a few people like Jarasandha. So all these people, they have one thing in common. They are all enemies of Krishna. That's why they all became very good friends. So they all came, they were talking that something, see, Krishna may come, Krishna may kidnap. So we all have to be united. That's why when marriage, generally people come with 5 people, 10 people, 50 people, 100 people. Akshohinis of the army they brought, because they thought that if Krishna comes somehow or other, we should defeat him and we should help Shishupala. So they were all waiting. Meanwhile, Balrama thought, what happened to Krishna? From last night he's missing. He didn't tell him, he didn't tell the parents, he didn't take any blessings of anybody. He just hurried to save Rukmini. He came. Somehow or other he found out that Krishna went there. So he thought, let me also bring all our army, Yadava army, some harm to Krishna may happen. So Lord Balrama brings all the Yadu army. So he also reached that place. And Rukmini is waiting anxiously for the arrival of Krishna. She is telling, Krishna also didn't come. Okay, Krishna may not be coming. What happened to this Brahmana, my messenger, so many days? He didn't come back. Then Acharyas are telling that even if Krishna would have said, no, this Brahmana cannot pass that news to Rukmini. Maybe she will give up her life. Maybe she becomes angry upon him. So, the Brahmana will not go. He will not go. So then she's telling that, alas, my wedding is to take place when the night ends. It's just about the early morning time. That day only Rukmini's marriage. How unlucky I am. Lotus side Krishna does not come. I don't know why. And even the Brahmana messenger has not yet returned. So Brahmana messenger also didn't come. Krishna also didn't come. That is the time this sloka is told. Perhaps the faultless Lord, even while preparing to come here, saw something contemptible in me and therefore has not come to take my hand. And then she's also out of her anxiety. She's telling, Durbhagaya namedhata nanukulo maheshwaraha Devi va vimukhi gauri rudrani girija sati. She is going to go for Gauri Puja, in some time. Before the marriage in South Indian tradition, there is a Gauri Puja. At home are actually temple of Devi Ambika. Girls used to go perform puja there. After that, marriage ceremony is performed. So she's going to go there, no? She's telling, how unfortunate I am. Generally, people worship Gauri or Lord Shiva only for getting a good husband or good wife. She's telling that, I have been worshipping this Gauri and Mahesha and also this Brahma. Durbhagaya namedhata nanukulo maheshwaraha. Even Brahma seems to be unhappy with me. Don't know why. Even Lord Shiva seems to be unhappy with me. Not sure why. Leave both of them. Even Mother Parvati seems to be unhappy with me. I am not sure. Devi va vimukhi gauri rudrani girija sati. This Devi also seems to be not happy with me. She's Gauri. She's not happy with me. Rudrani. Rudra means one who cries. When Lord Shiva, Rudra was born from Brahma's mouth, he was crying. And he immediately asked Brahma, where is my place? Rudrani means one who makes others cry. Maybe Mother Parvati wants me to cry. And she's also telling, she's Girija. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is telling, she is the daughter of a hill. She doesn't have a soft heart. Maybe she is not soft towards me, because she must have got her father's attitude, like, and then she's telling Sati, like in a previous life, she is Sati. She gave up her life. Maybe she wants me to give up my life like her, like that. This is all Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is narrating in his commentary, and that's what is added here by Gopi Parandan Prabhu and Hridayananda Maharaj, because Srila Prabhupada did not comment upon these verses. Yeah, in Krishna book, briefly he told few points, but he completed only up to the Brahma Vimohan Leela. As she thought in this way, the young maiden whose mind had been stolen by Krishna, she closed her eyes, filled with tears, remembering that there is still some time. Like, I should not be, like, this thing, Kalagna, she knows there is some time. So as she's crying like this thing, closing her eyes in that nice, wonderful marriage get up, like, Sukadeva Goswami is telling, O king, as the bride thus awaited the arrival of Govinda, she felt a twitch in her left thigh, arm, and eye. This was the sign that something desirable would happen. So there is something called Shakuna Shastra. It is part of Jyotisha Shastra. In Shakuna Shastra, if the left eye or left arm and left thigh is like, there is, if it is twitching, for the girl it's good, for the boy it's not good. For female it's good, male it's not good. Mother Sita also, when she wanted to commit suicide, in Ramayana says in Sundara Kanda, her left eye was twitching, then left thigh and left shoulder. Immediately she thinks something auspicious is going to happen. In Ramacharita also, it is described with Tulasidas. As soon as she had these symptoms, omens, she immediately tells, Lord Ram is coming, Raghuvara is coming. I should not die, I should wait for him. In the first canto of Bhagavatam, in the 14th chapter, I think in the 11th verse, Yudhishthir Maharaj also had these symptoms. Left eye twitching, left eye, left arm. But he immediately thought something inauspicious is going to happen. Like, Lord Krishna left, finally he came to know. So when these things happen for the male, it is bad omen. When this happen to women, it is good. Like, and opposite, same thing. Right eye twitching, right thigh, and right shoulder twitching means it is good. There's something good is going to happen, something desirable is going to happen if it happens for men. This is Shakuna Shastra. So immediately she is very happy. Just then, as soon as she is feeling happy that something wonderful is going to happen, she saw this Brahmana coming. The Brahmana is also very fearful coming. He is happy but fearful. Fearful because if Rukmini sees me, he will not allow me to give the message to, like, Rukmini. He is happy because he is not able to contain. Like, somehow I have to deliver this news to, like, Rukmini. But as soon as she saw the happy face of Brahmana, immediately she understood. No, the Lord has come. He didn't open his mouth. He was just came, she understood. Generally, Brahmanas, they come, they give some gift or something has to be given. Rukmini had nothing in her hands at the time to give. So she first bowed down to him. Like, if you don't have anything to offer to a guest, first thing we can do is to bow down and speak something sweet. Of course, we have to offer asana and other things and take them, give them all that is required. This shows her service attitude. So even though she be Mahalakshmi herself, goddess of fortune, the attitude towards Brahmanas, the same Brahmana, when he went, to Dwaraka, Krishna took him to inner chambers, washed his feet, massaged his feet, and spoke wonderfully to the Brahmana. What can I do for you? In fact, Krishna did the same thing to Sudama also. Sudama Vipra, when going back, he is thinking like this: Kvaham Krishna Srini Kvaham Daridra Papiyan Kwa Krishna Sriniketanaha Brahma Bandhu Ritismaham Bahubhyam Parirambitaha. Who am I? Poor sinful Brahmana. Who is Krishna? The husband of goddess of fortune. Husband of goddess of fortune, Sriniketanaha, Krishna. Like, even though I'm unqualified Brahmana, Brahma Bandhu, I'm simply a relative of Brahmana. He embraced me, Bahubhyam Parirambitaha. He gave such a nice hug. There it told how great the husband of Sri, he is worshipping the Brahmanas. Yes, Sri herself, like Rukmini, she is worshipping the Brahmana. Like, it's not Krishna, Rukmini. Both, like, we see Krishna is Go Brahman Haita Icha. Very wonderfully, like, he respecting Brahmanas and treating them. So Brahmana finally announced, the Lord Yedunandana, he came and he promised to marry you. Like, he broke the suspense. She is overjoyed to learn. Like, till the time she is very slow, she was not sure what to do. Now she, like, immediately wanted to um, go do Gauri Puja and get ready to elope with Krishna. So then finally the news that Krishna, Balrama and their army came, because Bhishmaka invited them also. So he came, like, he welcomed very nicely to them, gave so many gifts and gave Madhuparka. This is also South India. This Madhuparka is not given in North Indian marriages. Especially it is told Madhuparka. Many times we will say Madhuparka, Madhuparka. What is Madhuparka? Madhuparka is sugar, milk with honey, usually. Sometimes nowadays people add sugar, but there is no sugar at the time. Milk and honey mix, that is given, like, and welcomed them. It is told exactly the word, like, Madhuparka is used. And like that, like, all the residents of Kundinapura, they are very, very happy to see Krishna. Krishna went to Hastinapura, residents very happy. Krishna went to Mithila, residents were very happy. Krishna went back to Dwaraka, his own place, residents were happy. Here also they are very happy. So they are telling that this person, Krishna, like, he should be the husband for our Rukmini, not this Shishupala. Why is this marriage is happening? And, like, this Rukmini, she should get married only to this boy. Like, and they don't know, but do we have power? Marriage is fixed, everything is going on now, the arrangements, like, almost done. In few hours marriage is going to happen. What can we do now? But one thing we can do. They're praying to Lord Krishna, you take all our pious credits, but give us one boon. You accept the hand of Rukmini. They are willing to give away lifetimes of their piety, like, for Rukmini to get married to Lord Krishna. So they were praying like this, like, bound by their love, like, Krishna smiled, like, said, so be it. Then finally, Rukmini comes to this Ambika temple, where she is supposed to perform, like, Gauri Puja. She is accompanied by her mothers, friends, and, like, and some soldiers with weapons, because Shishupala knows that something might happen at that time. So they were all behind the army. They comes, like, and she was not sure. She knows Krishna is somewhere where he is, she is not sure. Like, there were singers, musicians, like, all kinds of devotees. They are glorifying Rukmini, and she washed her lotus feet and hands, then took Achaman, and then she came and sat in front of the Ambika, like, and she's praying to Ambika. See her prayer, wonderful, one shloka, but namasye twambike vikshnam swasantana yutam shivam bhuyat bhuyat patirme bhagavan krishnastad anumodatam. What is her place? Amma, oh Mother Ambika, swasantana yutam, along with your children. Who are her children? Kartikeya and Ganesha and Shivam, the Lord. Entire family she is praying, like, to Ganapati, to Kartikeya and Shiva and Mother. Bhuyat patirme Bhagavan Krishna. May the Lord become my husband. May Lord Bhagavan, Lord Krishna, Mukunda, like, become my husband. She's again and again in her prayers, no, Krishna, Rukmini is addressing Krishna as Mukunda. Many times we feel that, what is the meaning of Mukunda? Anybody? Huh? Mukti Pradata. There's a bigger meaning. Rukmini is not aspiring for Mukti. Why she is calling him Mukunda? Mukum dadati iti Mukundaha, that's true. But Mukum has different meanings. One meaning is like no moksha, apavarga, nirvana, kaivalya, this set of meanings. What we call in English liberation. But Mukum, in Brahma Vaivarta Purana, it is said that Prema Rasa Bhakti Vachanam, one who gives Prema, that is Mukum, Mukunda. One who gives Mukum is Mukunda, Mukum also means Prema. So she's like, filled with Prema. She's calling him, let may I become the wife of this Mukunda. Then she offered so wonderful paraphernalia to, like, Mother Kali, Ambika, and then they distributed the prasadam. She bore down the tea, took some prasadam. Now, till the time when they're doing puja, right, Gauri puja, they are supposed to be silent. Like, no, she was silent. Now she broke her silence. She's asking, where is Krishna? And she had there's so many kings came. She was just glancing at them. Like, where is Krishna? She was actually looking for Krishna. Finally, like, she found Krishna. And Krishna is in a chariot. Immediately, he picked her up. And then, like, he started taking her. And then, before everybody could realize, like, they also saw, like, Rukmini. How they saw Rukmini? Not like Yogamaya. They saw Rukmini as Mahamaya. Yeah, because it is not possible for those who do not have pious creeds. They cannot look at Krishna's internal potency. Acharya is saying, just like Mother Sita did not go with Ravana, only Maya Sita went. Similarly, whom they looked upon is not Rukmini, because Rukmini is exclusive property of only Lord Krishna. Only devotees of Krishna can see Rukmini and Krishna. So in this way, Lord kidnapped Rukmini. There's going to be a fight. That I leave it to the next speaker, I think maybe tomorrow. So I'll stop here. If anybody has any questions, comments, you are welcome. Yes, bro. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Babaji. This aspect of kidnap, that some people now in the material world may take it as an inspiration, and it is very dangerous, Babaji, if people take it as an inspiration. So, can you clarify about that issue, Babaji?
See, some people may take inspiration from this Rakshasa Vivaha, and and they may misuse or misinterpret. Here, the king is supposed to physically, defeat all other people in Rakshasa Vivaha, all other kings, and accept the girl if she is willing. This is Rakshasa Vivaha. If anybody can do that, we have no problem even today. And nobody can even hold a knife, forget about defeating so many people, and the entire world. That's not possible. So they can implement this, no problem. And the girl should be willing. If the girl is willing and the boy is hero, there's no problem. But what we see nowadays is that brutally women are kidnapped, raped, and abused. That is not, that's what I told. That is not even vivaha. That's not even marriage. Even in some religions, they call it as, oh, they married and this thing. It's not that way, because there is no dharma in it. There is no sanctity in it. And whatever is, there are always people, not only now, there are people who are misinterpreting scriptures. Now somebody is claiming, some Baba, some Amma, and some other people, some Swami is claiming that they are Krishna. That's okay. There were people in Krishna's time also, they are claiming I am Krishna. Like, he is also there in the marriage party, almost like Krishna. So, always there are people to misinterpret scriptures and misuse scriptures. There are there. But according to, see, there is dharma. The first four marriages are actually dharmic marriages. The next four marriages, whatever we discussed, like, Gandharva, Rakshasa, Asura, and Paisachika, they are actually, in one sense, adharmic. Why they are adharmic? Even the girl is willing, because sometimes it's so that the parents are not involved. Like, that's why. But these just simply kidnapping a girl and trying to get married and abusing her, that is all not allowed, at least in this country, according to our constitution. And we should be a civilized human being. There are so many things that we cannot do that are told in the scriptures. Like, the scriptures allow one to get married, like, multiple women. Now only it's allowed for one religion. And anyway, soon uniform civil code is going to come. No one can do that. Prabhupada always told that we should abide by the law of the land. So whatever is not allowed by the law of the land, we should not do. And we will get punished if we do so. Yeah. Misinterpretation part, anybody can misinterpret. Like, that we cannot stop them. Yes, bro. Anyone else? Okay, we'll stop you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.